overlooked a lot, and I don't know, I like to see how much better we can get from the start of the season to the end.
I love that. All right, this year we're adding in some photos before we get to the video. Do you remember this? I mean, there's so many great moments of you and fans. You might not remember this
That
one.
was against the Pacers.
Ding, ding, ding. I just think we should have thought bubbles. Like this expression, obviously this guy's into it. All right, Pacers regular season game. We're getting into the plays now.
Brunson drives, pulls up, jump shot, got it! Jalen Brunson, born to play basketball.
The time that you take to survey and make a move, what are you looking at when you're getting ready to attack?
To see who, like, if he's off balance or not.
Right.
To see where his momentum is leaning or whatever. Just try to take advantage of what he's doing. Just reading what the defender's doing.
When you reflect on last season and you see stuff like that, scale of 1 to 10, your assessment of reading defenders, making the right decisions, because I know you are always looking to grow. How would you assess yourself?
I'll say 7.5.
Okay.
Always room for improvement.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think I do a decent job at it.
I mean, it's fair to say you're decent. I mean, you're just the captain, you know. As we get into this, though, my observation down the stretch of the season, and you are always so even-keeled, never too high, never too low. But it felt like once we turned the corner post-All-Star and started to get in the playoff, there was more of the emotive Jalen Brunson. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Sometimes you need to show a little motion.
Oh, dangerous pass. Brunson gets it back. Shot clock at 10. Brunson drives. Foul. Shot is up. Count and one. Jalen Brunson with another answer.
I'm never like, oh, I got to show motion here.
Right.
It's just like, it happens. And that's what makes it so genuine sometimes. And that was a crazy moment in the game.
All right, this was another fun moment for all of us fans. This was fun for me because I got to call this game. This, though, was like, ooh, very memorable. Ellis looks, boop, fooled ya. Tisk, tisk, tisk. The all-star. Oh, dear. The young fella looks away, and you just completely blow by. Did you set this up?
So he was looking for the screen
Okay.
prior to me doing that. Like, I didn't really think about it. I just did it. It worked, and I just went. I just
You did
went.
give the little wave as if you
Yeah.
were calling for a screen.
Right.
But ball fakes are all about the game. We love it. I remember this game because it was so physical.
Yeah.
Like, and obviously for me, getting a chance to sit courtside and call it. Another angle of that one.
That game was fun.
It was a lot of
That game
fun.
was fun. It was a back and forth game the entire time. It was great.
Got contributions from all over the place in this one. I know you and I have talked a little bit about your footwork in the paint not always necessarily being on balance when you think of the way you teach it at camp, but for you, it's something that you work with.
Yeah, just me being off balance to keep the defender on balance. I just know that I can get on balance quicker.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, it's something that I've learned at a young age.
Ta-da.
I don't know how I made that.
Bro,
I don't know.
like everything about this series, this game, this moment, like this was so much fun.
2 to shoot. Brunson gonna have to. Brunson running away. Oh my! He got it to drop.
I was going to the right. I shot off my left leg because literally at the end of the third quarter, I kind of like hyperextended my knee. So I didn't really know how I was feeling, so I jumped off the left going right. I was like, I'm just chucking something up here, and it went in.
I mean, so much of it, though, is just keeping the ball alive. Like, 'cause to your point, the defense is always at a disadvantage. You could change your mind at any point. I mean, this is shaking almost a double team, falling opposite direction to your point, like over Joel Embiid. Goodness gracious.
That wasn't me. That was the basketball guys at that point.
I was literally about to say, I think at some point, because you do work so hard consistently and are always working on your craft, you just get those bounces. Like, those bounces are not luck. It's a culmination of all that you've poured into it.
Why did you invite him?
He was out there all alone.
Great party. I really feel the warmth. I wish this night would last forever.
I'll get him up.
M&M's for all fun kind.
Amazon Black Friday week is here. Woo! Woo! With new deals added every day. Woo! Shop great deals all week on Amazon. Woo!
So much Let's just...
A superstar in the making.
And this is...
This? Oh, you mean this? This is how I watch the Bucks, Thunder, the Wolves, not missing a thing.
We just got NBA League Pass. You can pick from so many live games and get home and away streams with your favorite announcers. Not missing a thing.
But can it do this?
Bang, bang, bang.
Nope.
If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with no deductible. To get the coverage you need, call the number on the screen now.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-867-0280.
I have seen a lot of players play in my life. Your emotional approach always sticks out.
Sometimes you need that momentum shifting play just to change the game or to seal the game.
Carl Anthony Towns with his first three-pointer here in the Garden.
I'm just always trying to be there for my teammates as much as possible, not just in the physical aspect, but also in the mental and spiritual aspect.
Which is most important.
Absolutely.
So, New York Knicks. Should I say welcome home? I hate saying welcome home because you know we have Minnesota in our backgrounds at some point.
Yeah, you
but
Vikings,
but this is for you now. So is it welcome home?
I don't know. I think it's more of a welcome back for my family and me to have been separated for so many years. You know, obviously doing some special things in Minnesota, being part of that community and being able to do such positive things. I think it's more of a welcome back to be able to come back and be able for my family to see me more often. My grandmother came to a lot of our games already so far. I think she's been to more games than she's seen in person than my whole time in Minnesota.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So it's pretty cool to be able to have that kind of experience now.
So what does it make you feel like at this part of the dream where you got the New York Knicks across your chest?
It's wild to be, you know, the stories my mom tells me that when she immigrated from DR here to New York, to hear the stories and the way that she revered the Mecca, you know, Madison Square Garden is something special. I think for my father, it feels like a completion of the journey.
Right.
You know, the Towns family made it into a Knicks jersey, and I think that to be able to carry her name and his name into the Mecca every single night is something special for me and my family.
At center at 7 feet from Kentucky, number 32, Carl Anthony Towns.
Were you always a Knicks fan when you were growing up?
I was. I can't say I wasn't. And the proof is in the pudding right there. Everyone knows. I grew up a Knicks fan. You know, when you didn't have much money, but we definitely had the MSG network.
Yeah.
And it was free, and I was able to watch the Knicks games.
This group I've just put together, Tim Thomas, Kyrie Irving, David West, J.R. Smith, Al Harrington, Luol Deng, all played high school ball where you grew up, right?
Yeah. Pretty good list. A lot of talent, their character.
What kind of influence did it have on your game?
You know, it just showed me it was possible. I think that's what the OGs, the vets, you know, what they show you. They took the chance at the dream, and they went and captured the dream, and it showed it's possible in our neighborhood. So for me and Piscataway, their character, getting drafted high to the Lakers and playing for them showed that it's possible to make it in the NBA. I just wanted my opportunity, so I just worked tremendously hard. It never started with the NBA dream.
Yeah.
You start with, you know, getting to pillars, you know, moments in the career. I just wanted to get a D1 scholarship.
Right.
Then you get the D1 scholarship. I want to play professional,
right.
You know. And I knew for me, I was lucky. I played for the Dominican national team, so I knew the world was bigger than just the NBA.
Right.
I just thought, I want to make it professional. I want to make it professional. Then now you're like, I want to make the NBA.
On that national team, that might have made you grow up a little faster.
Yeah, nah, it showed me what it was to be a pro. I was a young kid, super happy to be around players I watched on TV and got chances to study their games from far, and to be able to be in a setting where I get to now learn firsthand what makes them special was really, really cool, and something that stuck with me for even to this point.
Hey, I'm right here in Philadelphia, about to meet my good friend and teammate Al Horford of the Atlanta Hawks. Can't wait to catch up with him.
What's up? Congrats, man. Appreciate it.
How you been, man?
Been good.
Al Horford, is that where that long jump shot you got coming on? I'm seeing the two of y'all now at this point.
Yeah. What he got me right with was that mid-range. That mid-range shot he had, especially when he was on the Atlanta Hawks at this time as an all-star. It was something special, you know, jab step, mid-range jumper, right-hand hook, you know, and he perfected it for me, you know, got my body position right, got my fundamentals of it correct. You know, when you're young, you're kind of making up a lot of things with pure talent and athleticism, but for him to teach me the actual fundamentals of doing it the correct way.
Head fake, back up, banks it in, and the foul!
I've watched you play a lot, and the thing that really comes out that I see is your enthusiasm for playing.
Yeah, I love basketball. I love what I do.
No, but I can see that. I see that. I watch you from time to time, and there's an energy there that comes with that.
Yeah.
It's a joy.
Yeah.
It's a joyous kind of energy. You've always had that?
Yeah, I mean, I've had it since I was young, just competing. I love competing. I love going out there and playing against the best of the best, whether it was in my neighborhood or now it's the best basketball players in the world. Competition is something that drives me, and also now, in essence, being, you know, it's my job to be. I'm so thankful that I'm blessed to be able to say that I get to go to work every day on a basketball court. You know, it's something that I don't take lightly. I'm smiling now just thinking about the fact that, you know, this is really my life. I get to play basketball at the highest level, and I get to put food on the table doing this.
Well, Karl Anthony Towns playing for Tom Thibodeau once again. The two have reunited here in New York.
How great is it to be back playing for Tibbs?
It's awesome, man. Tibbs is best X and O's guys, one of the best X and O's coaches I've ever seen, and to be with someone who cares about winning that much. You know, he dedicates his life to us and winning and giving us the best chance every single night to win. That's something that I don't think fans get to see. I mean, it's amazing the discipline, the approach he takes to this job, and also the sacrifice he makes to be able to get the New York Knicks a chance every single night to win.
Can you finish this sentence for me? This team will be known for?
This team will be known for the discipline, work, and grit we're gonna bring every night. Even on the nights when things is not looking right, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna leave everything we got on that court.
All right, and one more little thing. I'm gonna do some rapid fire things.
Okay.
And
you in the rapid fire question.
Yeah, I like them, man. All right, so here it is. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Chess or checkers?
Chess.
Earbuds or headphones?
Headphone.
Text or call?
Call me. FaceTime me, matter of fact.
Movie at home or theater?
Welcome into Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. My name is Madelyn Burke, alongside the Super Bowl champ Amani Toomer. A cold and windy day here at MetLife Stadium as the Giants fall to the Buccaneers. 30-7 is the final score. Both teams coming off a bye. Both teams on a streak of losses. Tampa having lost the last 4, the Giants having lost the last 5, and of course the Giants made a quarterback change this week, waiving Daniel Jones and going with Tommy DeVito at quarterback. They were looking for a spark, but Amani, they didn't seem to find it.
No, they didn't seem to find the spark, but the energy was still there. You know, they came out in the third quarter and they played. They kept playing all the way through. No give up in this team, which you got to commend. I tell you, this is some of the hardest football there is to play. You know, when you're playing, when you don't know the direction of your team, how it's going to move forward in the future, but you know, you got to give it up to these guys for coming out there and giving it their best. Even though the score was 30-7, the fact that they, you know, played out the whole game, and even there at the end, they're still trying to score, even though their game was already out of hand.
Down to the last play, they were taking shots to the end zone. The first half, it seemed like more of a struggle. You know, the Giants were trailing 23-0 at the half. See Baker Mayfield celebrating with the Tommy DeVito fingers. But they came out in the second half, and specifically in the fourth quarter, were able to drive down the field. Yeah,
they were able to get some things done, which is always a positive thing. And also, you know, Tommy DeVito didn't fumble the ball, didn't throw any interceptions, he didn't throw any touchdowns, but you know, his numbers were decent. You know, he didn't hurt the team, but when you're looking at the situation, you're like, well, okay, what's the next step? What's going to go forward? Because, you know, obviously Daniel Jones wasn't the issue. You know, there's a lot of answers that need to be a
lot of questions that need to be answered.
A lot of questions need to be answered, and I know that this team is doing their best to try and put a productive on the field, a productive group on the field.
Well, and it's tough too when you're under pressure, no matter who's in quarterback. And Tampa was sending them.
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito was under pressure the entire game. Had was sacked 3 times in the first half alone.
Yeah.
And it was hard for him to get the ball out. And even when he could find the receivers, there wasn't a lot of separation there and a lot of yak opportunities.
Yeah, I think with Tyrone Tracy early on was running the ball pretty well. With the fumble, that kind of slowed his game down. And when you don't have a strong running game to balance out the passing game, you saw some of the plays where Tommy DeVito was dropping back and both receivers on both sides were bracketed by the safety and the corners. So, you know, the team has to work together. There's just so many things that are going wrong. But one thing that isn't going wrong is the effort. And these guys actually went out there and tried as hard as they can. I know this is a bottom line business where it doesn't really matter how hard you try. You kind of have to get the job done. But this is where the Giants are, and you got to commend that they're still, you know, they're still swinging out there.
They're still swinging. The locker room is still fighting together in this one as well. For another perspective on this game, though, let's send it down to the field where Brandon London and Paul Dottino are standing by, guys.
Okay, Madelyn, well, thank you so much. Now, people sometimes forget that these players are human beings too as well, Brandon. And this has been an incredibly difficult week for the franchise and for the players and coaches in that locker room. Sometimes, no matter how much you focus on the game and think you can overcome certain things, the human element is always there, Brandon.
Absolutely, Paul. Like you said, these players are human, and, you know, it was something that you saw kind of carry over in the first half when we talk about a slow start and not being able to really get things going. But it's hard to tell a guy like Dexter Lawrence, who lost his best friend in terms of a trade last year, loses his other best friend, Daniel Jones, this year, but played lights out today and really hustled. So at the end of the day, there's a job to do, but when you don't have that juice coming into a game and starting off fast, it's going to hurt you in the NFL.
All right, so the Giants were unable to overcome a very difficult start, and one of the reasons was they're down 7-0 at the end of the first quarter, and I want to go back to a 4th and 1 at their own 37-yard line. They go with an end around to Wan'Dale Robinson, stuffed short. That gives the ball back to the Bucs, and from that point forward, it didn't look like the Giants were able to hit the switch.
Yeah, you can see Brian Daboll still being Brian Daboll. He still believes in his offense. He still believes in the personnel. Otherwise, you don't call that. You punt that out. So it's a situation where he believes in the guy that's in that or the guys that's in that offensive room. At the end of the day, that's on us, the players. We have to block better. We have to reach better. We have to get that first down to honor our coach for having confidence in us.
Yeah, he certainly tried to light a fire under them and give them a spark. Now, I want to talk about Tommy DeVito for a second. In the first half, 3 for 5 for 31 yards as the Giants' offense was really stuck in the mud. But in the second half, 18 of 24 for 157 yards, and that's pretty good passing efficiency. Now, the Giants need to get that from the start of the game.
Yeah, I was surprised that he kind of came out a little sluggish, especially with him being his second year and him understanding and knowing this offense. But in the second half, for him to kind of get going and show some sort of confidence within himself, that's why Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka went to him to be their QB1. Now, we got a short week to get ready for the Dallas Cowboys, but hopefully a young DeVito can build off of that to where the offense can have a fast start and have success down in Dallas.
Now, once we saw the offense get the ball rolling a little bit in the second half, we saw some things from the young guys. Yes. Neighbors made some catches. Tracy had some runs, although he also had that fumble. Yep. We saw Evan Neal, who's not really a young guy, but after an initial first sack that he allowed, he settled down and played pretty well. And Theo Johnson seemed to get involved in the passing game a little more.
Yeah, in the media and on social media, they can say that your season's over and you're not playing for anything, but tell that to the players. You're out there still lining up, doing it not for I, but for we. Not me, but for we. You're going to still go out there, you're going to compete, and you're going to perform, not just for yourself and your own individual glory, but for the success of the team.
Okay, Brandon, that'll do it for us at A View from the Field. Let's go back upstairs.
Thanks so much, guys. One of the points that they brought up that I thought was interesting is the importance of getting a fast start. You know, obviously the Giants were in a big hole in this first half, and once they got things going in the second half, it was hard to dig out of. But the Giants haven't had a lead since that Seattle game in October. How important is it to just come out and get a fast start to right this ship?
Especially at home. I mean, this is a tough place to play, especially when you're at home and you're behind. So when one of the things that I was looking at coming into the game was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 4-1 when they score first, 0-4 when they score, 0-5 when they give up the first points.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things that they had to do today. It was very important. They deferred the kickoff, and Tampa Bay went right down the field.
Absolutely, and it's tough to dig yourself out of a hole like that. All right, we've got more to come. We're going to keep unpacking this one after the break. Carl Banks joins the show, but Giants fans, it's Moody's. Decode risk, unlock opportunity. You can learn more at moodys.com. Much more to come on Giants Postgame Live. As we continue rolling on, we're hearing from head coach Brian Daboll after the Week 12 loss at home to the visiting Buccaneers. He'll head to the podium and address the media soon, but Giants fans, limited tickets are available for the remaining home games at MetLife Stadium for the Giants' 100th season. Just scan the QR code on your screen or visit giants.com/tickets to find your game and secure your seat. We're back with more on Giants Postgame Live after this.
It's never easy to hear you have cancer, but knowing where to go for treatment
makes all the difference.
Most cancer centers have general oncologists, but at Hackensack Meridian John Theurer Cancer Center, we have world-renowned subspecialists.
In the exact cancer you have.
You're not just getting a cancer center. You're getting New Jersey's premier cancer center.
And the nation's only multi-state NCI-designated cancer consortium. Know the difference. Hackensack Meridian John Theurer Cancer Center.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford Crew. Black Friday.
What's happening?
It's the extra shipment of Ford trucks and SUVs.
Serious SUV capability.
Ford F-Series, best-selling trucks for 47 years.
Bronco and Bronco Sport. I can smell the adventure now. Yeah.
It's Black Friday time.
Returning lessees, hurry in today to lease a 2025 Ford Explorer for $389 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Ford stores.
Well, if you want my 2 cents on interest rates, we got options.
My 2 cents. This one's priced to sell. My 2 cents? My 2 cents?
My 2 cents? My 2 cents?
My 2 cents?
Here's my 2 cents. I'm planning for the future. Interest plus interest equals more interest. Come on now. You gonna drink that?
Hi, Joan. Perfect timing. I have a few questions.
Of course. Let's look at your plan.
'Twas right before puck drop on a holiday night when members of Fan First got the best deals in sight. The guarding gets loud as the excitement grows. The guys light the lamp and the horn starts to blow. Offers for you before anyone else. This season, join Fan First and see for yourself.
Incredible win for the New York Rangers!
Yo, good show.
Thanks, brother. You too.
What are you up to now?
Not much, chilling. Gonna head downtown, parlay with some friends before heading home.
Parlay.
Parlay? Absolutely. More fun, bigger chance at a better payout and a better night. Let's go.
Relax. Show's over.
I really can't.
Well, November is Salute to Service Month in the National Football League. The Giants had some visitors today. Active members of the military. Players went over before the game, said hello, took some pictures, said thank you for your service to these military members as Giants celebrate Salute to Service Month with a flyover and much more here. Giants Postgame Live brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Welcome back to the show. Madelyn, Burke alongside the Super Bowl champ Amani, Toomer, and now joined by the two-time Super Bowl champ Carl Banks. And Carl, a disappointing loss for these New York Football Giants at home, 30-7 against these Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are they just didn't get better out of the break. I think the things that plagued this team, especially on the defensive side of the football, they never got better at them. Offensively, they made the change, right? So we saw what we saw. Tommy made good decisions with the football. That was what it was. But I think this was the story of a bad defense. They're a poor tackling team. They gave up these big chunk runs, and it always come off of one missed tackle, and then it's off. And so I just think that part of this operation is just so disappointing to me. And I thought around the end of the half, I said there were a bunch of DWIs out there, don't want it. And
Don't want it.
I just saw it, and they just didn't seem like they wanted it. And that was the disappointing part for me. And I'm not saying as a unit they quit, but I saw some effort that just said they didn't want it. And I just was so disappointed. They came back the second half, played a little better, but it was the same thing. You know, when the team wanted to put the pedal to the metal, they found a play, and it was a big play against this defense.
Yeah, I was watching the game, and, you know, when you give up 156 yards on the ground, it just doesn't seem like a traditional Giants defense. Usually they can stop the run. Even earlier this year, we were able to stop the run at a much higher clip and also pressure the quarterback. Baker Mayfield had a lot of time back there. And I think the real, like you said, the offense was what it was. But I think the real letdown here was on the defensive side of the ball,
100%.
allowing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to physically get in this game, dominate up front. And when you see linemen running down the field and partying and celebrating, it shows you that, you know, this offensive line is really starting to take hold, and that's where the game was ultimately lost. I think on offense they played good enough to compete, but that defense really took them out of all type of contention.
Yeah, I mean, it was not complimentary football at all. You knew that you had a new quarterback in, and they were going to need some help.
Yes.
This defense did not give them any help, and it's just, you can't make excuses. And, you know, people will say, well, it's the coaching. No, tackling is an effort there.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, playing Mike Evans with a bad hamstring, and you're giving him all the space when he's not going to run by you.
Yeah.
You know, that's individual scouting report. You can look at a scouting report and say, well, you know, Mike Evans is a good route runner. He's got a hamstring. He's not going to run by you.
Yeah.
Right? But you just kept seeing him wide open, and he wasn't running by anyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I think was systematic, was like emblematic of the entire game was Bucky Irvin's 56-yard run.
Yeah.
That to me was the backbreaker that really showed.
When you got Baker Mayfield throwing a block in there as well, yeah.
Yeah, you got to tackle for a loss or a tackle for one, and it goes for 56 because one guy misses and nobody else can tackle. It's just unfortunate. But this is the state of this team, and this is why they are where they are.
Well, and you mentioned the DWI, the don't want it plays. I mean, coming in, Amani talked about this earlier in the show, coming into this game, 2-8, you've just benched the starting quarterback, waived the starting quarterback, made that change. You know, this is a tough game to zero in and focus on. And yes, these are professional athletes, and this is their vocation and their career to do that. But how do you conceptualize, when you mention the effort, you know, just how challenging of a circumstance this is to play in?
It's not that challenging. Your check comes on Tuesdays, I think. Right? So whatever happened to that guy, it doesn't impact you. So whenever that check comes, it comes. They don't hold back that check. So you got a job to do. You have to do it. And I'm not the bleeding heart here saying, well, you know, they've been emotionally traumatized because they cut the quarterback. No, that happens.
Yeah.
It happens. So they have a job to do, and they have to do it. And they have not been very good at it this year.
Yeah, it's a tough way to play. I tell you, this is the toughest football to play, just because you don't know if the real point of this game is to try and win it, because of the fact that, you know, there's so much turmoil going on all the way up and down. You don't know which way this organization is going to go. And the best option for you to win this game would have been to keep Daniel Jones. So it's just a very you're not used to this situation as a football player, going into a game not sure from up top to all the way down below. You're trying to win a game.
Yeah, but you have to do your best.
You're 100% right.
If you're a professional athlete, you have to do your best, because even if, let's just say, you feel like they're not trying to win a game, you got to win your battles.
That's
You just can't keep getting punched in the mouth, right? Because that's on film.
Yeah.
Right? So you can do your part, and it's disappointing. It's disheartening because I haven't seen defensive football in this place in a long time, and there's been some questionable defensive teams, but this is just bad. I mean, it's just teams are coming in and they're, start on the 5-yard line and end with a touchdown. And that started the season in Minnesota, by the way, but it's just too much of that.
Yeah.
It's just too much of it.
It's like Michael Jordan always used to say, there's always somebody in the gym who's never seen you play, and as much as you're playing for your team, you're also playing as a representative of you as an individual, and you got to put your best foot forward, your best effort forward every time you're on that field. All right, Giants fans, it's the 100th season of Giants football. And the official 100th season book titled New York Football Giants, The People, The Moments, The Traditions is now available exclusively at the Giants online shop. This book explores the top 100 players of all time, unforgettable games, and stories that have defined the franchise for the last century. Visit the Giants online shop to get yours today. Giants fall to the Buccaneers 30-7. After the break, we'll hear from Brian Daboll on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health.
Check it, Kev.
Dude, I told you, DraftKings is the best place to bet touchdowns.
Best touchdown dances all the time.
Probably don't even know about this. This old school right here.
Oh, you want old school?
Oh, that's dirty. That's dirty. Look at me. I see what you're doing.
Oh, you don't see nothing. You don't want this heat.
No, man, that ain't heat. And hit you with this right here. Get nasty on it. Touchdown. I didn't know that was gonna break.
Get out.
Respect.
All customers open the DraftKings Sportsbook app to score a fresh promo every day. The crown is yours.
Current owners and lessees of an eligible competitive luxury brand vehicle get this low-mileage lease on this 2024 Cadillac Lyriq all-wheel drive Luxury One for around $439 per month.
Progress. It can be fast. It can be slow. It can be disruptive. But one thing it can't be is stopped. While progress might seem inevitable, breakthroughs come from supercharging it. Delivering business outcomes at scale. Fulfilling aspirations with compassion. Innovating responsibly. Whether it's day-to-day success or transformational gains, we supercharge progress to change the game.
Make the most of your season during the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. Gift yourself some savings and visit your local Kia dealer today. Look out for these stickers to find great deals on vehicles backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, so you can start new traditions for years to come. Get 1.9% APR for up to 60 months, plus $1,000 retail bonus cash on specially tagged 2025 Sportage and Sorrento vehicles.
So much to save hundreds on top brands during the Black Friday mattress sale at Raymore and Flanigan. Take up to $600 off Beautyrest Black and Smart Life, up to $500 off Purple and Tempur-Pedic, up to $400 off Sealy and more. Or finance your mattress for as little as $15 a month with no interest for 72 months. We deliver your new mattress the next day and take away your old mattress for free. Don't wait. The Black Friday mattress sale is on now at Raymore and Flanigan.
Did you suffer from meningioma after using Depo-Provera?
Call Whites and Luxembourg at 917 Lawyers.
We're proud to have filed the first Depo-Provera federal lawsuit, taking the lead pursuing this litigation.
We've represented thousands of women injured by defective medical products for almost 40 years.
If you developed a brain tumor after usage of Depo-Provera, call 917 Lawyers today.
If you've experienced a brain or spinal cord tumor after Depo-Provera use, call 917 Lawyers today. That's 917 Lawyers.
They're on their Washington 14.
This might be a replay of what I saw coming off the elevator. It was literally a bootleg or a quarterback sweep to the edge.
Like, even Carolina put up 27 today. And they lost by 3 to the Chiefs.
What's so interesting, too, is that our guys don't value possessions, right? I mean, even your top pick drops one, crossing route has it, then he loses it. Then he's on the sideline, which probably should have been an incomplete pass. He just catches it in lackadaisical, and the guy knocks it out of his hands. I'm like, bro, you trying to score? Like, value these possessions.
Yeah, he doesn't. I'm not.
Stand by.
Giants fans, join the Giants text alert community for breaking news, sweepstakes, ticket offers, and important game day information. Just scan the QR code on your screen or text Giants to 201-636-1569 to get started. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Madelyn, Burke, Amani, Toomer, and Carl Banks standing by. But first, let's send it down to head coach Brian Daboll, recapping the 30-7 loss to the Buccaneers.
Okay, tough game. Give Tampa credit. They did everything better than we did today.
How do you explain that performance from your team?
Yeah, it wasn't good, Dan. It wasn't good. For a variety of, missed tackles, converting in the red zone, turning the ball back over in the red zone. Had a good week of practice. Did a lot of work, and obviously it didn't show. So, no excuses.
You said you were hoping that Tommy would provide a spark for the offense. Why do you think that didn't happen?
Well, they played well, and we didn't play well. So, get down 23-0, changes the complexion of the game some. Had a good drive coming out of half, turned the football over. So just not good enough, and that all starts with me.
How much do you feel, if at all, everything that happened this week with Daniel and the whole situation had any effect on the team?
No excuse on that. Just didn't do a good enough job.
Do you regret benching Daniel?
One more time?
Do you regret benching Daniel?
Yeah, no, we're moved on here. We didn't do a good enough job today all the way around. That starts with me.
I mean, in the context of doing it to spark the offense and improve the way the offense looked.
We weren't good, Pat. So no excuses. Wasn't a good day.
What do you tell the team after a performance like that?
Yeah, just that. I think there's a lot of prideful people, but what we put out there wasn't good enough. Can't make excuses. We got a short turnaround, but didn't do a good enough job. And again, had a good week. And we started out slow. We got down 23-0. Things compounded and battled there in the second half, but ultimately not good enough.
Brian, what's a good week to be? What makes you feel like a week?
Yeah, no, good energy at practice, good detail. Bouncing around. Again, it's no excuses. It wasn't good, and that's my responsibility.
Brian, you guys are averaging this season 14.8 points per game, which I think is the lowest in over 25 years for this team. Why has it been a week-over-week issue with the offense?
Yeah, just we're not doing a good enough job.
What did you think of Baker taunting the fans with DeVito's symbol?
One more time?
What did you think of Baker Mayfield taunting the fans in the stadium with DeVito's?
Yeah, I think they played well, and he played a good game. So give those guys credit.
Brian, do you start, when you talk about having a good week of practice, I'm sure you sensed the team was healthy, that you sensed you were going to come out here and play a good game. When it doesn't happen, you kind of question, am I getting through these guys, or am I not reading them right? Because the performance does not match anything that you thought of before the game.
Yeah, look, Paul, I understand the question. We didn't do a good enough job, and we got to be better.
What are some of the issues you're seeing with the defense?
Yeah, we got to do a better job of tackling. Third down conversions.
So are you happy with the pursuit of everybody, gang tackling to the ball?
Yeah, we're just missing them. We missed a bunch today. It's something that we focused on. Obviously, not good enough, and at the end of the day, that's my responsibility.
Your decision, 4th and 1 early in the game.
Yeah.
I
had 2 plays there. Thought we had an opportunity to get a first down and keep the drive going, try to build some momentum, and didn't get it.
Neighbors didn't target in the first half. Why was he not involved?
We didn't have very many plays. Certainly had some there dialed up, and they had, whether it's a coverage designed to, I'm not saying double them or anything like that, just a better coverage for the play in and of itself. But didn't have very many plays, Dan. Try to mix in the run. That's started out the game with a good run, and not much after that. The game got away from us and turned into a pass-a-thon, which is not what we want to do.
How do you convince the team that the big move you made this week is in the right interest of the team when you had this performance?
Yeah, I mean, I think we moved on here, Pat, with it. Again, we just got to get ready to go here for this week.
How much did you moved on, Brian, but there were a number of players who stressed and said that they believe Daniel was this team's best quarterback, namely Dexter, and then to have this performance, I mean, is there a concern? Are you worried?
Yeah, no, again, we're moved on from it. You know, we've talked about the Daniel situation. We just got to do a better job, play better all the way around.
How much did you think this was a positive? Like, when you're weighing the pros and cons of making that kind of decision, that this is a possibility that you might not get your intended result, which was, like you said, to create a spark?
Yeah, again, Jordan, I just say look, Daniel's on. You know, he's not on the team anymore. We've talked about that. We got to do a better job all the way around.
Will Tommy be your starter next week?
Yeah, we'll see if he's healthy and ready to go. He will be.
How do you think he did? How do you think he played today?
Go back and look at Paul. Look, nobody did a good enough job. Start with myself. He just got dinged up a little bit. I think he had the wind knocked out of him back there, and again took a couple shots there. So you know, hopefully he'll be okay.
Brian, that's 6 straight losses. Any concern that this could snowball?
Just trying to get a win. Again, do everything we can do each week. Certainly not, you know, the performance that we set out to have. No question about that. Got to do a better job.
Dave, you've talked about execution all along. Are you concerned with the fight in this team right now? I know what you're seeing during the week, but
yeah, no. I mean, we got to do things better. But no, I don't question our guys.
You mentioned missed tackles though a bunch of times. The natural inclination is to say, well, missed tackles is an effort thing. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I'd say we missed some tackles. I think guys were giving good effort, and you know, we missed some tackles. They made us miss. You know, had some
missing so many tackles if you don't think it's effort. What's the other explanation?
Yeah, I mean technique. Give credit to the other guys, making us miss, but certainly not good enough.
What's the thinking with calling timeouts on that last drive?
Just try to finish the game. You know, give Tommy an opportunity to finish the game and keep competing.
Tommy did take quite a few big hits, as you mentioned. How do you address that in improving pass protection?
Yeah, well, we'll see why there were, you know, the hits were the hits. You know, we'll take a look at that and, you know, try to correct what we can.
I know Tracy came back into the game. Yeah. Was he out for a punitive situation with the?
Yeah, you know, he turned the ball over, gave Motor some burn and Gray, and then put Tracy back in too.
How big a concern is that with him moving forward? That this is now, you know, he has a bunch of fumbles.
Yeah, something we gotta, you know, continue to stress and work on. But I have a lot of confidence in Tracy, but we can't turn the ball over to the other team.
Do you have concern about your job security after a game like this, or do you feel like you're safe and can coach out this season no matter the results?
Yeah, I just, you know, I feel for the guys that go out there and play, and you know, the result that we had today, and you know, focus on getting better for the next week.
How much do you even consider that? How much does that even go through your head when you have performances like this?
Yeah, the only thing that goes is how we're going to make it better, and that's what we'll try to do.
Okay. All right, good.
Well, that sound from head coach Brian Daboll is brought to you by the local Ford dealers. Ford is proud to be official truck of the New York Giants. Back on Giants postgame live, Madelyn, Burke, Amani, Toomer, and Carl Banks. And as we heard head coach Brian Daboll saying, you know what, that just wasn't good enough. 30-7 loss to the Buccaneers. But of course, emphasizing the missed tackles. And Carl, you touched on that in our last segment. But tackling, it's one of those things. How do you get that to improve for a team?
It's an effort. It's an individual effort. And, you know, we put so much emphasis on players and their athleticism, and you miss the key parts of what is important to football. And defensively, it's tackling. It's a physical game. You got to be able to get people to the ground. You can win a foot race, but you need to tackle on defense. And so it's an individual effort. Every guy has got to do it. I mean, you can't practice it. You either know you want to do it or you don't want to do it. And, you know, they have too many missed tackles. Just simple as that. And it's not that hard. If you get a lot of guys to the football, it makes it easier on the initial guy. But it is what it is, folks.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like the whole approach by Brian Daboll. I just like that he didn't give any excuses. He wouldn't let anything about Daniel Jones or the stuff that's upheaval going on in the organization. He just took it right on the chin. You got to do better. I got to coach better. That's what you want to hear from a coach.
Sure.
You know, no excuses. You know, no finger pointing. And I just feel like that's something you can build upon. That's something you can build culture on, because you know when your coach is in a situation where everything is down and everybody's looking around, he's taking it on the chin. So I got to take my hat off.
Accountability.
Yeah,
is what you
exactly.
Yeah, and you want to have that accountability of like, hey, everyone, you're pointing more thumbs than fingers in that space right there. Carl Banks, thanks so much for your contribution this week. We'll see you next time. Amani, Toomer, and I will be back with more. Hey, it's cold out here. You know, you can't be throwing shade.
Yeah, put a little lotion on.
I'm good, man. What you talking about?
Guests of our post-game show receive a gift certificate to Ben & Jack's, located on 44th Street in Manhattan. From the celebrated porterhouse to finer seafood, Ben & Jack's will surpass your expectations of what a steakhouse should be. Much more to come here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. We're back after this.
By the time this Giants fan is finished drinking his Pepsi, you'll be 15 seconds closer to game time. Giants watching. Better with Pepsi.
Hellman's Real Mayonnaise. It makes any barbecue delicious. It's so rich and creamy. Irresistible. Hellman's Mayonnaise.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford Crew. Black Friday.
What's happening?
It's the extra shipment of Ford trucks and SUVs.
Serious SUV capability.
Ford F-Series, best-selling trucks for 47 years.
Bronco and Bronco Sport. I can smell the adventure now. Yeah.
It's Black Friday time.
Returning lessees, hurry in today to lease a Ford F-150 for just $279 a month for 24 months. Only at your local Ford stores.
For thrills, for celebrations, for intimacy, for triumph. We all have reasons for wanting to be healthy. When you test with Quest, you and your doctor can track your health over time to reveal patterns. With the bigger picture, you can transform your future health. And that might be the most important reason of all. For all your reasons, Quest.
Sunday.
Just gotta steam it, babe.
Time to suit up.
Like half zips, kind of quarter zip guy.
Sacrifice your lung and your skin's ability to breathe.
Does that look cheetah looking?
No, it's full jag.
Easy, Chief. Let your razzle-dazzle on the field, the bar, or your best friend's nuptials.
So the Buffalo Bills, guys.
No matter how hard you football, it's easy to Sunday.
'Twas the night before Spriteness, but feeling mad lame, cause Santa was out with a high ankle sprain. We needed a sub that was down for the cause. Then into the game came our man, Answer Claus. His task was not easy, but it had to be done. Sprite Winter Spice Cranberry for everyone. The holiday parties were just kicking off with eggnog aplenty.
More like eggnog.
When what to their thirsty eyes should appear, but a slayer slays with 8 tiny wolf deer. AE drove hard to the hole all Winter Spice night, dunking down chimneys.
Keep the highlights.
This limited Sprite made the holidays lit. As for once in his life, it hit nothing but brick. And they heard him exclaim as he peeked out of sight.
Merry Sprite to all, and to all a good Sprite.
The NFL is hard, winning games are hard, and, we just got to keep getting better.
Malik just said to us that he's just tired of losing. How do you react to that?
Man, I try to just keep my emotions real poised and just copacetic. Obviously, all you can do is your job in this point, and, just trying to continue to focus on what us as an outside linebacker group and what as a defense, we can get better at to contribute to the team.
Defensively as a group, do you just need to do a better job tackling?
Yeah, and that just starts with the individual. I think, we got to get back to the simple things. Football is about making tackles and getting the offense guy on the ground, so we got to do a lot better at that.
Kayvon, after being out for about a month or so with the wrist, how do you feel physically you were able to do what you wanted to do?
Definitely was gassed, but, you know, you got to keep playing. You know, Z's went down early, so I had to, you know, do more than we expected, but that's the nature of the beast, you know, so just me trying to continue to get back in, you know, shape.
Were they just really good today, or did you guys struggle in areas?
A little bit of both, man. I think you can't take any team for granted. Every team is good in the NFL. I just think, you know, you got to make the plays when they come to you.
Dave said just not good enough today as a ball club. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, you know, we had opportunities. We didn't take advantage of them, and, you know, we didn't make a way for ourselves. So, yeah.
Tips, what are some of the main issues you see in stopping the run?
I think just fundamentals. We got to tackle. We got to rally. When we do get there, it looks great. When we don't, it looks, you know, horrendous. So just being sharper, I think we just got to continue, you know, getting better at our individual fundamentals.
How deceptively slippery is Baker Mayfield in the pocket?
Smart quarterback, very elusive, you know, a very heads-up guy, good at finding, you know, his dump-down receiver or target. So, you know, they got the best of us.
That's Giants linebacker Kayvon Thibodeaux. They got the best of us. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers came to MetLife Stadium and got the 30-7 win. The 5th time this season the Bucs have scored 30 or more points in a game. Their offense has not been a struggle, but again, coming into this Giants team, a team coming off a bye, reeling in need of a win. And one thing Kayvon said is, hey, the key here is getting back to the fundamentals. It sounds a lot easier than it is, but what's the approach there, Amani?
I think they, you know, focus on attention to detail. Like Kayvon said, every team in the NFL is good. It's the little minute details of just wrapping up, tackling the fundamentals that they have to get back to. And it's really strange that somebody who's been playing football and a team that full of players that have been playing football their entire life could forget how to do those things, but that's what happens when pressure happens, especially in these types of situations where there's a lot of upheaval. But like Carl Banks just said before he left, it doesn't matter. Your resume is being written every time you step on the field, and if you're on a losing team and you're not paying attention to details, it's going to be a lot harder for you to stick in the league and find someplace else to play if you're not playing here. So this is very much a resume builder right now. This is where true character is shown. What are you going to act like when all the chips are down? There's nothing to play for but pride, and this is going to tell a lot about this team over these next couple weeks.
Absolutely, and talking to these guys in this locker room this week, there wasn't a fracture, there wasn't a lack of effort. There's a lot of focus on sticking together and righting this ship and navigating through this adversity. And like Kayvon said, it's like, hey, we got to get back to the drawing board and do that and do just that, because there's still 6 games left to be played.
There's a lot of football left to be played. That's, it's a month and a couple days, a month and 2 weeks, and that's just a lot of time to go back to work when you know that every day is a pressure-filled situation, and they're looking for people that are going to give up. This team did not give up today. Yeah. But, you know, it's going to be a long haul when you know there's no playoffs and you are just playing out the string. And this is when this will show you if you're a true pro or not.
Absolutely.
These next couple weeks.
Absolutely. Locked in, playing for the team, playing for your reputation, and playing spoiler. We've got more to come on the show. Giants Postgame Live continues after the break. We're going to hear from Giants quarterback Tommy DeVito. That and more on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Continues after this quick break. Stay with us.
It's never easy to hear you have cancer, but knowing where to go for treatment
makes all the difference.
Most cancer centers have general oncologists, but at Hackensack Meridian John Theurer Cancer Center, we have world-renowned subspecialists.
And the exact cancer you have.
You're not just getting a cancer center. You're getting New Jersey's premier cancer center.
And the nation's only multi-state NCI-designated cancer consortium. Know the difference. Hackensack Meridian John Theurer Cancer Center.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford Crew. Black Friday.
What's happening?
It's the extra shipment of Ford trucks and SUVs.
Serious SUV capability.
Ford F-Series, best-selling trucks for 47 years.
Bronco and Bronco Sport.
I can smell the adventure now. Yeah.
It's Black Friday time.
Returning lessees, hurry in today to lease a 2025 Ford Explorer for $389 a month for 36 months. Only at your local Ford stores.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Mel. Is now good for a quick catch-up on your plan?
Yes, now's great.
Has anything changed since we last spoke?
You know what? Yes, I'm thinking more long-term.
Great. We'll make that change to your plan and adjust as needed.
This helps a lot.
Bye, Mel.
Bye. Make sense of your money with Citizens.
To the future of our family. I will build a city that people can dream about.
Megalopolis.
That man is a megalomaniac.
What is it like being rich?
You can scare people. You're gonna have to prove yourself.
We are going up, and they are going down.
We are taking our city back.
The alligators have the right idea. They eat their young.
Megalopolis.
Get more sports, get more action when you upgrade to DirecTV Sports Pack for only $14.99 per month. Catch every touchdown from every game, every Sunday afternoon with NFL Red Zone from NFL Network. Plus, watch more college rivalries with the ACC Network, the Big Ten Network, and ESPNU. And get over 40 regional and specialty sports networks like MLB Network, NBA TV, and NHL Network. Get more sports. Upgrade to DirecTV Sports Pack now.
First time being out there in a while, playing, real football again since preseason, so probably got to get adjusted a little bit to getting hit again, but I'll be okay.
Why was it so hard for you guys to get anything going today consistently?
Yeah, it was tough in the first half. Just figuring out what they were doing. Just, I know it sounds cliche, but just coming down to execution. Started to go a little bit faster in the third quarter, and we finally got things clicking in the run and pass game. The run game got going, passes opened up, vice versa. Kind of slowed them down a little bit on defensively because they were bringing a lot of pressure early on. So as we started to figure that out and just let everybody just play, we started to get going, but just too late.
Why was it, Neighbors had no targets in the first half. Was there anything specific they were doing with him?
No, not necessarily. It's kind of just going through my reads, kind of just how it played out.
How frustrating was it to every time it did seem like you guys were getting something going, something happens that stalls the drive?
I mean, that's just adversity, right? You never know when it's going to happen. In the first half of the game, it happened, early on the drives, weren't able to convert. And then obviously just being able to go down the field and then, something like that happened, just stay tight as a group. And that's just, again, just attention to detail, the small things, staying on a block this much further, me carrying out a fake that can pull a guy apart to help keep someone away from the ball, and then ultimately everybody just plays a part in that in the ball security aspect, but just have to finish. I mean, I know it's a thing that's been going on for a while, but it's definitely something that is being hammered in the meetings and the film on the practice field. It's just, it has to click. That's it.
What do you think the key is to getting it to click?
Just finishing details, yeah.
Tommy, with all the emotions of the week, you get out there, and for them to jump out the way they did against you guys, I mean, you come in at halftime, what's the mood? I mean, how do you get a read for this team and where you guys are at right now?
Yeah, at that point it was, as we treated it as a 0-0 ball game, you don't have to try to get it all back at once. You can't get it all back at once, not in one drive, but to go down and put together a drive and to go down the field and give the offense back our confidence. And I think that, obviously we did a good job going down the field. We just have to finish it to really solidify that and put us back in the game. But at halftime, everybody was up, motivated, ready to go. That's never a question. There's no hanging heads. Nobody allows that to happen, and nobody does that. So we just got to keep that going. But ultimately, we got to come out faster in the first half.
Tommy, do you sense a lack of confidence in this? Do you sense a lack of confidence at all in this offense?
No. I think it starts with the leader. I think it starts with Dabes. He's a very confident guy, and then obviously it trickles down. And I think, as a quarterback group, the receivers are confident. I think everybody's confident. I think just when it comes together, you just breathe into each other. Just when things do go wrong or something does go wrong, say there was a missed block or balls on the ground, it's just bringing that whole group together to that one guy to just bring that confidence back into him, knowing he's going to be good for the next play and we got his back.
Tommy, what was your reaction?
That sound from Giants quarterback Tommy DeVito, brought to you by your local Ford stores. Ford is proud to be the official truck of the New York Giants as we take a look at the quarterback comparison in the Week 12 matchup at MetLife Stadium between the Buccaneers and the Giants. Baker Mayfield, Tommy DeVito, the numbers side by side. No touchdowns, no interceptions for either.
80% completion for Baker Mayfield. That is incredible. He played a phenomenal game, and I think the way their offense kind of dominated, kind of let everybody know, like kind of dominated the game and set the tempo. But I think Tommy DeVito said it right on the head. I mean, they need to execute. They have confidence in their leader, and it's just a matter of, you know, you're saying all the right things, everything, you know, they're telling us what we want to hear, but now let's see it. And they have a great opportunity on a short week. Whenever I got an opportunity to play in a game and it was not the way I wanted it to, the best thing that could happen was to get on play a game to erase it very quickly soon thereafter.
Right. Get back on the field as soon as possible to show, no, this is who we are. And what Tommy had said in his presser as well that stood out to me is that it took a while to get into the rhythm, you know, to kind of understand what the Bucs were doing defensively. They were bringing a lot of pressure. They were getting to the quarterback a lot. The pocket was collapsing. Of course, left tackle Jermaine Illuminor went out early with an injury. You had Evan Neal still at right tackle. There was a lot of changes on this line. They were trying to figure out what was going on there, but once they got into a rhythm in the third quarter and then in the fourth quarter, they got down the field and scored. But as he said, it was just too little too late.
Yeah, I mean, he started out 3 of 5 for 31 yards, and he had a 20-some yards rushing in the first half.
Right.
Then he came out, ended up being at 21 of 21 of 31, and you know, ended up having almost 190 yards, and it ended up being like a solid performance. No turnovers, no touchdowns. But you can win when a quarterback doesn't turn the ball over, especially throwing at a high percentage clip as he did in the high 60s.
Absolutely. They're just hitting their rhythm, and like you said, it's a short week, so not too long before they get back on the field. All right, we've got more to come. We're going to take a quick time out here. But first, Giants fans, check out the Eli Manning Show, presented by Panini Prism Trading Cards. All you have to do is subscribe to the Giants YouTube channel to catch all of the new shows. It's the Eli Manning Show. Subscribe today. Much more to come here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. We're back with more after this. Stay with us.
Current eligible GM lessees get this low mileage lease on this 2024 Cadillac XT5 with no sunroof for around $399 per month. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
Check it, Kev.
Dude, I told you. DraftKings is the best place to bet touchdowns.
Best touchdown dances all the time.
Probably don't even know about this. This old school right here.
Oh, you want old school?
Oh, that's dirty. That's dirty. Look at me. I see what you're doing.
Oh, you don't see nothing. You don't want this heat.
No, man, that ain't heat. I'm hit you with this right here. Get nasty on it. Touchdown. I didn't know that was gonna break.
Get out.
Respect.
All customers open the DraftKings Sportsbook app to score a fresh promo every day. The crown is yours.
Make the most of your season during the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. Gift yourself some savings and visit your local Kia dealer today. Look out for these stickers to find great deals on vehicles backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, so you can start new traditions for years to come. Get 1.9% APR for up to 60 months, plus $1,000 retail bonus cash on specially tagged 2025 Sportage and Sorrento vehicles.
When you order Domino's online, we'll give you a free pizza to use in the future. So you'll have an emergency pizza when you need it most.
Here you go. Thank you.
No matter the reason, when life gives you lemons, Domino's gives you free pizza.
Enjoy.
Thanks. Sorry, Dad. Get your emergency pizza when you order online.
Thank you.
Only from Domino's.
So much to celebrate this morning. Let's take a look at who's on the show.
Emmett Smith is here. Love to hear from both of you.
I liked what they were doing.
Any questions for Aaron Rodgers? Devontae Smith. Hi, Smith. 100 million people are going to watch this. I don't even know what I'm going to say.
I love the NFL. Can't wait to see what happens in this one.
Towns goes inside and throws it down. Three-pointer. Bang! Karl Anthony Towns has
Well, November is Salute to Service Month. The Giants had a flyover from a C-17 from McGuire Air Force Base to kick off the day's festivities. Quite the big plane flying over. And then Major General Michael Layler ringing the bell with Amani, a couple of your former teammates out there.
Absolutely. RW and Webby out there.
Absolutely. And the Salute to Service festivities underway as November is Salute to Service Month here in the National Football League. Lots of respect to those who serve our country. All right, we're continuing to recap this game. Of course, Week 12, the Giants fell to the Buccaneers 30-7 at home. One of the team's captains, Dexter Lawrence, is speaking in the locker room. Let's send it down.
I don't think we lack effort. I think we just not doing well tackling and covering on defense.
Dex, why do you think you guys played soft?
Because we didn't tackle and cover well.
I guess, was there anything you saw like leading up to this that kind of gave you warning signs that I guess how was the week? Did you see things that
I thought we practiced well. That was my message at halftime. We practiced too hard. We practiced too good to go out there and play like that. And we'll just continue. I mean, I think it always can get better. It's a process. Right now, it's a long process that, you know, I'm here for it. I'm going to keep leading, doing all I can on the field to lead, and, you know, talking to the guys I need to talk to, the defense, guys on the offense, whoever. But, yeah.
Do you think everyone has bought in to what this program is right now?
I think so. I mean, like I said, I don't see lack of effort. I don't see lack of, I don't see selfishness. Just got to execute better, man. We got to tackle better. We got to cover better. We got to be mentally locked in on whatever being called out there, you know.
That's Giants nose tackle Dexter Lawrence as we take a look at his numbers against the Buccaneers today. 4 tackles, a forced fumble, 1 quarterback hit from one of the leaders and the captains in this locker room. And Amani, when we hear what Dexter said, he says, you know, hey, we practiced too hard, we practiced too good to go out there and play like that. He says, I'm going to keep leading. I'm going to keep showing up in the way that I can. He talked about talking to his teammates in the locker room at halftime. We've seen him pull guys aside during games. I mean, this is a man who's got a C on his chest and a New York Giants tattoo on his body. You know he wants to be here and be a part of turning this around. What does it mean when a guy like that is coming to you at your locker and saying, hey, we got to get this together?
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy that's kind of the rock. You know, he is one of the leaders that's going to be around, that's going to be a part of the turnaround in this organization. And he's really now setting all the younger players, he's the one who's kind of setting the tone and setting the culture around the locker room. So, you know, I like to hear what he's saying. I like to hear about all the effort and all that stuff. He doesn't see any people quitting. But you know what? There's a difference between playing hard and playing with your hair on fire. And this team is not playing with their hair on fire. They're playing hard, but hard is just not good enough, especially when you're playing against Baker Mayfield and this Tampa Bay offense. You know, you have to be able to wrap people up. You can't let 56-yard runs go from the 1-yard line and expect to be able to be competitive throughout this game. And I think this team has the mettle. I just feel like they need a little bit of direction, which I think Daboll's given them the direction, but it just has to sink in, and this culture really has. Because remember, you know, back when Dan Campbell took over with the Lions, they struggled for a long time.
Yep.
But that ownership group stuck with them, and they ended up turning it around.
And now they're a favorite to win the Super Bowl.
And now they're a favorite to win the Super Bowl, and they have a dominant culture. And that didn't happen because they were playing well all the time. It happened because there was leaders in that locker room that showed through example and approach to the game how the game is supposed to be played. So this is an opportunity for this Giants team to turn it around.
Absolutely. You got to trust the process. You got to continue to weather the storm. And we will be here doing just that. But first, we're going to take a quick time out on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. We're back with more after this quick break. Stay with us.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford crew. Black Friday.
What's happening?
It's the extra shipment of Ford trucks and SUVs.
Serious SUV capability.
Ford F-Series, best-selling trucks for 47 years.
Bronco and Bronco Sport.
I can smell the adventure now.
Yeah.
It's Black Friday time.
Returning lessees, hurry in today to lease a Ford F-150 for just $279 a month for 24 months. Only at your local Ford stores.
Hellman's Real Mayonnaise. Chop, tumble, twist, and dollop your way to rich, creamy deliciousness. Irresistible. Hellman's Mayonnaise.
By the time this Giants fan is finished drinking his Pepsi, you'll be 15 seconds closer to game time. Giants watching. Better with Pepsi.
It's the most wonderful time with the kids jingle. Be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful.
Whether your phone's broken or old, we've got you. With Verizon, anyone can trade in any phone, any condition. And get iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. And iPad and Apple Watch Series 10, all three on us. That's up to $2,000 in value, only on Verizon.
Hello?
Progress. It can be fast. It can be slow. It can be disruptive. But one thing it can't be is stopped. While progress might seem inevitable, breakthroughs come from supercharging it, delivering business outcomes at scale, fulfilling aspirations with compassion, innovating responsibly. Whether it's day-to-day success or transformational gains, we supercharge progress to change the game.
Anniversary Hess Fire Truck. A 3-toy set with blazing fire chief car and motorcycle, loaded with realistic sounds, lights, and a towering ladder. Get it now at HessToyTruck.com with free shipping and Energizer batteries included.
For the 60th year, the Hess Truck's here.
Well, it's a quick turnaround as we turn the page to Week 13. The Giants on the road in Dallas to face the Cowboys for a Thanksgiving afternoon matchup in the NFC East. The Giants-Cowboys Thursday, November 28th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Cowboys have yet to win a game at home this season. Giants, obviously the same situation, but the Giants will be on the road in Dallas. When you look at this game, Amani, what are your early impressions? And like you said, the quickest thing, quick turnaround, getting back on the field right away.
Well, this team is saying all the right things. The coaches, players, they're putting forth the effort. Now we got to see something. We got to see some progress. We got to see some development of what's going to happen and what this culture is going to be like moving forward.
Absolutely. And when you look at this matchup against the Cowboys, who are coming off a win, they edged out against the Washington Commanders today. That's some momentum for them. Yeah, so this is going to be a really good test for the Giants. It's going to be a test for this organization on where we're going to move forward to. Absolutely. And we will be here wrapping it up as we are after each and every game on Giants Postgame Live. Season rolls on, of course. We wish you all a happy and healthy Thanksgiving, but we'll be here on Giants Postgame Live Thursday for Super Bowl champion Amani, Toomer. I'm Madelyn Burke. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health.
From Delta Center in Salt Lake City, it's Game 2 of a 5-game road trip for the Knicks as they bring a 4-game win streak to Utah to take on the Jazz. New York Knicks basketball is presented by Chase. Just 15 games into the season, we're already seeing signs of a prolific offense with this new-look roster. The Knicks are averaging 128 points per game during these last 4 wins. And tonight, they'll look to keep it rolling against a rebuilding Jazz team that's off to a 3-12 start. Glad you're with us, everybody. In for Mike Breen, I'm Tyler Murray. And to borrow a line from Karl Anthony Towns, one of the GOATs of our generation, Jamal Crawford is here.
How you doing, Tyler? I'm excited to be here. Another good one. The Knicks are playing unbelievable basketball right now.
See if they can keep it going. And speaking of Towns, he and Jalen Brunson, they've already become one of the most unstoppable duos in the NBA.
They are, and they're doing it in such a way, in such a fashion that they can float between being the main guy and the co-star. Jalen Brunson gets downhill at will. You cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain him. He can hurt you so many different ways, and he's just a handful for the defense. Look at right here, getting to his fadeaway, but don't forget what he can do best, setting up his teammates, and then the easy ones right there. Jalen Brunson can take over so many different ways, and that's why he's one of the more dynamic players in the NBA. But then now he has a co-star that can match up with him. Karl Anthony Towns. He has been re-energized since being in New York. He understands the mission. He is doing it from all levels. And right here, watch the big-time, big man bump, getting it done. Karl Anthony Towns is something that's special out there. Him and Joker, the only two on pace right now to average 25 points, 12 rebounds, and shoot over 40% from 3. He's having a magical season.
They each had 30-point double-doubles on Wednesday in Phoenix. No NBA team has had a duo do that on the same night this year, and it's just the 14th time it's happened in Knicks franchise history. Okay, for Utah, the rebuilding, trying to figure out which pieces to build around. They've committed to one guy, Lowry Markkanen, got a big 5-year extension this summer.
Well, he's an all-star level talent. He can get it done. Right now, they're struggling a little bit. His numbers are down just a little bit, but we know he can score in the inside. He can hurt you driving and putting pressure on your defense. And then, oh yeah, I can step out and catch and shoot threes with the best of them. He is an unbelievable talent. He knows what's at stake here. He knows right now they're going through a struggle, and look for him to be ultra aggressive, even though his numbers are down a little bit.
He averaged 23 points a game last year. This season, it's just under 19. The three-point shooting has been phenomenal, but with defenses throwing different coverages at him, he's actually struggled more around the rim. We'll see if the Knicks can bring the defense to the 7-footer tonight. But on the offensive side, everything is clicking, especially for Josh Hart lately. Just had his 7th double-double of the season on Wednesday in Phoenix, and the three-point shots coming around. He's made 9 of his last 20. Well, the Knicks are riding high, but believe it or not, they've lost 8 of their last 10 games in this building. And today, they'll have a chance to start this 5-game road trip 2-0. Opening tip is next, right here on MSG.
Twix is too good. Cookie inside a candy bar? It's like a cookie in disguise.
Imagine one of our gangs in disguise. I'd snap him.
There's more to a Twix.
Hey fans, we all want to travel safe through New York and New Jersey. That's why if you see something that feels suspicious or dangerous, just call 911. You don't even have to give your name or get involved, but you'll be helping to keep our region safe. Let's work together. Visit the Port Authority website to learn more.
Andrea Bocelli in concert. December 18th and 19th, Madison Square Garden. The world's most romantic voice, Andrea Bocelli in concert. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Back in New York, Bill Pito along with Wally Zerbiak from our Delta MSG studios. Great to have you with us. If you're just joining us, Deuce McBride's going to miss his 5th straight game with a sore knee, but Cam Payne has more than made up the slack off the Knicks bench in recent games. He's playing excellent basketball.
He's been dialed in from the three-point line, that's for sure. A little Vinnie Johnson, the microwave-esque when he comes into the game. Just injects a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of emotion. Playing back in his old stomping grounds in Phoenix, he lit them up from deep. Also had a great shooting night against Washington. Last 5 games, he's really been dialed in from that three-point line, looking to be aggressive. Tom Thibodeau wants him to come into that game and look to shoot, look to score, and look to put points on the board. The efficiency has been outstanding from the starters, and then Campaign has picked it up big time, and there hasn't been any drop-off when he gets out there on the floor. He's been playing really good basketball, likes his new team in uniform, the New York Knicks.
Payne is our Chipotle real difference maker. You see the last 5 games, almost 12 points per contest and 54% shooting from downtown. Payne getting ready, hopes to keep it going against Utah. Opening tip coming up next. We'll see you at the half, everybody.
Towns goes inside and throws it down. Three-pointer. Bang! Karl Anthony Towns has
I just couldn't stay in shape like I used to. But luckily, I found Nugenix.
Nugenix is a unique man-boosting formula that helps increase your free testosterone level. To get a complimentary bottle, text RANK to 369369.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-867-0280.
I just couldn't stay in shape like I used to. But luckily, I found Nugenix.
Nugenix is a unique man-boosting formula that helps increase your free testosterone level. To get a complimentary bottle, text RANK to 369369.
If your employer doesn't supply health care coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private health care is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with no deductible. To get the coverage you need, call the number on the screen now.
Knicks looking for win number 5 in a row. They beat Brooklyn twice, then Washington and Phoenix, and now they make the trip to Salt Lake City to take on the Jazz. Get to the starting lineups. It's a familiar 5 for the Knicks. And for Utah, they get Walker Kessler back, one of the best young shot blockers and rebounders in the NBA. He was out 6 games with right hip bursitis. This has been a banged-up Utah team on the interior, so they get a bit of a reinforcement back with Kessler. Time for the GMC Keys to the Game, brought to you by your local Tri-State GMC dealers, Jamal.
The aggressive perimeter defense, the Knicks set the tone last game against Phoenix. If they can do that, it takes pressure off their interior defense and it gives them energy. Their ball movement, when they're getting those steals, when they're getting those stops, they can go on a defensive run that is one of their best offenses as well, coming with the ball movement. And then the bench boost. If we can get a bench boost every single game consistently, we know how good the starting 5 is, but that bench boost is huge for this Knicks squad.
Perimeter defense, as you've said, leads to transition offense. This Jazz team actually gives up the most transition points in the NBA, so you're right on point there, Jamal. And first quarters have been very kind to the Knicks lately. They outscored the Suns 44-28 on Wednesday in Phoenix, starting the game on a 20-6 run. The rest of the way, the game was tied 96-96, so you can win NBA games with a good first quarter like we've seen them do lately.
You absolutely can. There's always a moment of truth in the game, and sometimes there are 2 or 3 moments of truth. It was the first quarter for the Knicks. They got the steals, they got the stops, they were able to get easy baskets, and then when you get easy baskets, the tough ones become easier.
Jazz have the throwback uniforms on, City Edition, with the Wasatch Mountain Range on there. It's time for the Tullamore Dew opening tip, brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Game 2 of a 5-game road swing for the Knicks, taking on Colin Sexton and the Utah Jazz. After this, they go to Denver on Monday, Dallas on Wednesday, and then Black Friday, a noon tip in Charlotte before a 4-game homestand. Utah wins the tip. And their second-team all-rookie point guard from a year ago, Keontae George, will bring up the ball. Lowry Markkanen hounded by Hart. They set up an open 3 in the corner. Sexton missed it, and the rebound tipped to Towns. Knicks looking to run early. Brunson leads the break, pulls up for 2, and the Knicks are on the board first.
When you're a great scorer and you get an easy one like that to set the tone, it puts you in a rhythm. You get to a rhythm a little bit faster, and that's what Brunson did right there.
He hardly missed a shot in his last game on Wednesday, so he stays hot after a game-high 36 points in that game. He was 7 of 11 from downtown. Here's Kessler back into the lineup for the first time in 6 games. Hands off to Sexton there on the pick and roll. He's got Bridges on his hip, and he knocks down a mid-range jumper.
Sexton's an aggressive player, right? Like, he looks to score. He always brings the fight to you. He doesn't wait to get in the fight. He's already ready to go.
His three-point shooting is at a career-high mark this year, 42%. Two-point shots like he just drilled, he's only at 46% though. Towns hands off to Brunson. Picked up by Kessler, takes him to the rim, got caught underneath, kick out to Anunoby, and he rims out of three. OG has been phenomenal on above-the-break three-pointers this year, non-corner threes. George a catch-and-shoot triple. Won't go, and Towns gets the rebound. Good outlet pass to Brunson. He'll dish it to